Well, hello, welcome to Tarot to a T. Today's reading will be for mid-April for the sign of Libra. And if this is the first time to my channel, welcome Libra. Glad to see you here. And if you're returning, welcome back. Take that one. Also, I'd like to mention I am open for personal readings. However, please keep in mind I have a limited schedule, so if you're interested in one this week, go ahead and look at the description box for the information. It's pretty straightforward. Also, if you like the video, please put a thumbs up on it. And just want to remind you, the way I'm doing extended readings, I can't do them from all zodiac signs. So whoever gets the most likes, the previous reading, so like if you had more likes on this video, the next reading for Libra will have an extended available. I wish I could do all the zodiac signs. I just don't have the schedule for it, but I'm looking forward to the day that I do, when I can just cover everybody. Starting small here and hoping to expand my schedule as things progress, as the channel gets bigger and all that. So that's what I'm working towards, and I appreciate you being here to be a part of it. And again, I want to remind you this is a general reading, so if it doesn't apply to what's going on in your life and it just doesn't resonate with you, don't worry about it. Not a big deal. General reading cannot cover everybody in every situation out there, so please come back and join me for the next reading. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with you, Libra. This is, again, mid-April 2023. We got the 6 of Diamonds, 3 of Clubs, 10 of Hearts, and the 7 of Spades. 1 second here. Let me just take this in. Getting my first impressions. The first thing that just pops out at me is you have these two very positive cards. You have the 6 of Diamonds, which talks about you being able to take some kind of financial responsibility, or, well, let's just put it this way. You're having more and more opportunity to do that, whether your income is increasing or you just have more resources available. But it does talk about expansion in that area going forward anyway. Sixes talk about more doors opening up for you in that way. You also have the 10 of Hearts, which is a completion, a major chapter that's wrapped up in your life. It's brought great happiness, and you're kind of sitting in this energy of celebration and just kind of, I want to say relaxing necessarily, but kind of enjoying the achievement. Perhaps you've gone through some great troubles, and you've finally seen the end of that rainbow. Not like you're not going to have more happiness come your way, but you've kind of reached this pinnacle. You've reached some great, I keep hearing achievement, but I tend to associate achievement with like finance and career, but it's not that kind of achievement. This is like personal growth achievement. Yeah, it's something along those lines. Now, contrasting that energy, you do have some struggle and fight going on. You feel like you're being pulled in a couple different directions, I bet. If that hasn't already surfaced in April, you're going to start to feel this way. So be prepared for that. And there is some kind of hidden information coming to light. Actually, I'm getting with the 3 of Clubs and the struggle, it stems from whatever is revealed to you, or if it's not something outside of you that's being revealed to you, it's an epiphany of sorts. It's like an internal realization. Perhaps, I'm kind of getting the sense that you're on this track in some sense of your life. It really could pertain to anything, relationships, career. And because you suddenly realize something, you're in a little bit of a state of flux and a state of indecision. That's how I'm reading the struggle and fight. Don't know what that internal situation would be, only you would know how that fits your situation. And by all means, don't make it fit. Don't put a square peg in a round hole. But you got this really good energy here. So it's kind of a mixed bag for you, I would say, so far. We are going to open those other cards up. Let me just shuffle this. I was feeling called to shuffle the deck because I am going to pull more cards. But first we're going to look at 9 of Spades, 5 of Hearts, separation. Queen of Clubs, and the 2 of Spades. Yeah. This is your great achievement, I think. You've managed to separate yourself from somebody, as indicated with the 5 of Hearts. That is a physical separation. Some contexts don't have to be relationship. I'm feeling this is relationship. There's some kind of impression of relationship going on here that has ended, because you do have the 9 of Spades, which again is a completion. It's some kind of disappointment and loss. It could have been from a fire sign. Queen of Clubs is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries possibly, who was generally had a very good heart. Not to be trite, but that's kind of the energy behind the Queen of Clubs. They're a good person, and they probably carried some kind of authority or power, at least in your eyes. If not over you, but just like their stature in life. And there's some kind of split that's pretty permanent. There's no chance to reconcile with this person. And I think you've finally come to maybe not a realization, but an acceptance. Resisting the temptation to be angry, to carry around bitterness, to carry around resentment, and just letting go of that. That's that acceptance. That's that final, it's like cutting the cord, the final cord being cut. But you have other great things going on in your life, but that's a major achievement, I think, for you to finally let go of a situation. I do remember Libra being involved in a pretty complicated and unpleasant relationship ending the latter half of 2022. So this could be remnants from that, honestly. You have the black and white Joker, so things are up in the air for you here. This very much coincides with this struggle and fight. It's like, and I don't think you're fighting with somebody. I think it's an internal struggle. And yeah, you're kind of feeling things are up in the air for sure. There's also the full energy with this card. You're not sure what the future holds. It's just a bit of uncertainty around that black and white Joker. Jack of Diamonds. Now, this could be a younger Earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, but I don't think so. When the Jacks come out, it's about inexperience and lack of maturity in some way, but I tend to see this, especially with the Pentacles being highlighted with the Diamonds. It's about some inexperience with some kind of financial situation. Now, usually I tend to see that as some kind of financial gain, but it could be that finances have changed in another way, especially with the 6 of Diamonds. We did see that. And this, again, is indication of some kind of increase. You have more resources available. You're able to use money to take care of debts. You're able to make repairs. It's financial responsibility in all senses of the word. And perhaps that's all a new experience for you. For some reason, I'm thinking your last reading mirrored that in some way. You were making decisions about that. I could be getting you mixed up with another sign, but let's see what else is going on for Libra. Mid-April. Mid-April. Can you believe it's already mid-April? Mid-April 2023. Okay, there we go. These two didn't want to go back in. 6 of Hearts and the 10 of Spades. Now, the 6 of Hearts is that options and opportunities in relationships. So with the 6 of Diamonds, it's about finances, money, resources, abundance. But the 6 of Hearts talks specifically about relationship, and I think it's on the heels of this major chapter that closed. This is something behind you that was a major ending, such as a marriage, such as a relationship. In some cases, it could be physical death. I'm not particularly picking that up because there is a lot of indications that it was a relationship that needed to end, and it was a bit difficult. It was a bit traumatic, especially with the 2 of Spades. You don't usually see that when someone's passed away. It's just that there was some kind of falling out that led to final completion, right? Yeah, that Ten of Spades is a major chapter you've closed. But on the heels of that is the Six of Hearts. So it tells me that you are going to be open and ready to meet somebody significant. Probably romantic in nature. Probably, but I'm not going to put words in everybody's mouth and assume that you are looking for a new partner. Just because one relationship ends doesn't mean you're ready for the next one or you even want that. It just means that the potential is there, the road is clear, you've dropped the baggage, you're ready to meet somebody who's going to make an impact on your life. And that could just be like a very close friend. And when it pertains to business, it could be meeting that perfect business partner, someone who's on the same page with you, has the same passion. What else can you tell me before we move on to advice for Libra? Five of Spades. Yep, there's the breakup. There's the breakup. I think it's tied in with that Ten of Spades, that Nine of Spades. Finally releasing yourself from a situation. I think I'm drawn to an energy of a situation being over physically, this physical separation, but perhaps you're emotionally still attached to it. This is that final push to be rid of it, to shed it, to not let it bog you down any further. And it's backed up with the Two of Spades again, realizing that it's never going to change. That person's never going to change. What happened is never going to change. You can't change events that have already occurred. You can change them. I should take that back, because if you're into quantum physics and how we affect the quantum field and how we can change our future, going forward you can change your perceptions of this as, it was what it was, but it's also this great learning experience for you that you had to go through. Some part of you recognizes that you had to go through this experience to lead you to greater things. That to me is the energy of the Five of Spades there, that you finally have let go of whatever tethered you to that. I feel like it's emotional. You kind of still had this emotional stuff you needed to work out, probably within yourself. And perhaps that's part of this epiphany here. Epiphany or some kind of realization. Let's go ahead and look at your cards of advice, Libra. Cards of advice for Libra's situation. Okay, we got the Ace of Diamonds. Nice start there. Eight of Diamonds. It's going to be all about finances. I see the Four of Diamonds. Fantastic. Oh yes, look at this. Couldn't make it up if I tried. Okay, so you got a very nice financial future here, but it is leading to a little bit of indecision. Perhaps how to feel about it, how to handle. I mean, we did see that with the Six of Diamonds here, you got some opportunities coming up that are going to level you up in some way. You're going to be in some kind of new financial energy. Remember, Jack of Diamonds. This is like some kind of new start where you are seeking and perhaps putting the intention out there to increase your income, to increase your abundance with that Ace of Diamonds. And there's some kind of solo effort. Now, the solo effort doesn't have to be you're going to start your own business. If that's not your cup of tea, I see the solo effort as you initiating this new start. Wanting that for yourself, knowing that you deserve it. But that promise with this Eight of Diamonds is that it's going to reap great rewards from you. All this energy and time and effort you're putting into this is going to pay off, literally. And with the Four of Diamonds, you got a windfall coming. There is a little bit of caution around this in terms of overspending. And that could be why you end up in the Three of Diamonds energy. A little bit of being pulled in a couple of different directions. Like I said, this isn't necessarily bad. It's more about feeling pulled in a couple different directions around finances. Perhaps you will go through a little bit of struggle in terms of managing your impulses. To, how do I phrase this? I mean, to put it bluntly, to manage the impulse to go crazy and spend lavishly, extravagantly, there may be a little bit of struggle because you've never had this kind of abundance available, or perhaps this has been a long time and you're kind of not in practice of exercising restraint. And there's so much joy and happiness and freedom that comes with this that you're going to be tempted, which is a very human reaction, tempted to spend more than is probably good for you at this time. Okay? That's backed up by the Four of Diamonds. Be careful how you spend it. The Two of Clubs here tells me there's some kind of communication that needs to occur. If you are in a relationship, I see that directly related to finances and communicating perhaps your different desires and vision around this abundance. Because I see I see a huge emphasis on abundance. That's why I'm going down that path. And just, that's like going to be your focus. If you're not in a relationship, the communication just could be with, I don't know, grown kids, people around you. Maybe you have friends that are tempting you to go off and travel with them, and you need to communicate the desire to kind of hold back and not, like I said, go over the deep end and overspend. Just exercising restraint. And it's like enjoying that abundance, because you do deserve it, and you do, by all means, enjoy it. It's just exercising common sense, restraint, because no matter what part of the world you're in, the financial health of the entire planet is not great. And I think there's going to be great changes that come, maybe not this year, but I mean, people keep warning about economical collapse and resources being limited and drying up for very good reason. I mean, we've overdone it. The way we're managing this planet is not healthy. But nonetheless, on a personal level, I think you just need to have a reality check around that and see where you stand. That's all I'm going to say about that. But you do have your heart open, so especially that single Libra who came out of this bad relationship, especially if it was more recent than in the past, and you didn't meet somebody special, immediately, especially if you didn't even want that. You do have your heart open. It could be a younger water sign also. This is Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Well, the Jack of Hearts is very, I see them as being very optimistic about the future in terms of emotional connection. And there's a sense of vulnerability. In other words, you're not afraid to be vulnerable, which is good. That means you're feeling secure, right? Uh-oh. But you did get the Seven of Hearts. Okay. This is your cards of advice. So this vulnerability and having your heart open, it's saying you got to be careful. There's a potential here to be hurt, especially, I'm feeling something very strongly, especially if you did come into some abundance and money. Be careful that you don't get taken advantage for that. Somebody looking at you in a new way, in a new light, because you have money is not a healthy foundation for a relationship. We shouldn't base our attraction on what someone has or their ability to spend. And especially if Libra, you are the generous type to want to always pick up the bill at dinner. I got that very clearly. Be careful with that. Yeah, that propensity to be kind and generous. Here's that communication card, remember. So, I'm not saying that you're involved with someone who will or is taking advantage of you, but there seems to be some communication involved with this Jack of Hearts and Seven of Hearts. Without that communication, there is the potential to have your heart broken, to be hurt in some way. Disappointed. Doesn't mean a breakup. We're not looking at breakups. We're not looking at earth-shattering changes. But we can always be hurt and disappointed by somebody we're still involved with, and we intend to still be involved with them. Right? Yeah. I just see that openness is needing a little bit of, I'm hearing the word management. You need to manage it a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit of self-protection, but not defensiveness. There's a difference, right? Any more cards of advice for Libra, please? Yeah. Stress and worry. Stress and worry. So, in the situation I was just mentioning, there could be stress and worry already on your part, or this could be coming down the pipe if you don't, it's again, communicate, that open communication. I do want to emphasize that. It's about harmony and balance. It restores that harmony and balance. And if you're not careful, it can lead to this heartbreak and this stress and worry that I'm hearing that this person doesn't really love you or doesn't really care about you. All they care about is your money. How cliche is that? It's kind of a typical situation where you have somebody who's, I don't want to use the word gold digger, but it's kind of along those lines. Even in terms of dating, they're just along for the ride because, the abundance that's available to you and your generosity and overextending yourself. This reading really did take a turn. So that seems to be the focus of your advice here, Libra. You have, hey Libra, sorry about that. I had a battery change, but I was in mid-sentence when I started to say, I had my own epiphany with your reading here. This potential to be a little bit overgenerous, having your heart open, potentially being in this state of stress and worry, I think stems from this epiphany right here that you're having in mid-April. I think it's going to become clear to you that perhaps you're feeling this energy, you're feeling that this person, if you were involved with a person, especially if you're just dating, could be using you for your money. Because you've obviously come into some kind of, I don't want to use the word wealth, because people tend to associate wealth with like being crazy rich, crazy wealth, like millions of dollars. I mean, maybe you have. Yeah, I mean, that does happen. Not necessarily overnight, but nonetheless, and that's what the struggle is. So in the midst of these great opportunities that are coming your way financially, and the resources that are becoming available to you and increasing, which has led to this great happiness and celebration, that's where this epiphany comes in, that you have to be careful about having your heart too open to others, who you let into your world. I think in general we do have to be careful with that. It's like it's not about putting up defenses, but putting up filters, right? Seeing people for who they really are, and if you feel like anything's off, it probably is. As they say, there's probably some truth to that. You got to listen to your gut. Okay, I'm going to end it there. Thank you for joining me. I hope you gained some insight and this gave you some ideas and maybe confirmed some suspicions that you've had about how you feel about things in particular, not necessarily about another person, but how you feel internally about what's going on. If you would like to join me for the next reading, don't forget to hit subscribe notifications, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up on the video if you're interested in seeing an extended reading for Libra. next time around in May. Again, I want to remind you the description box contains the information regarding personal readings and also a link to my donation page. It's called Buy Me a Coffee. Sorry about that. I just had a little indigestion. But if you are interested in supporting the channel and giving me a small donation, the link is there, and I appreciate that in advance if you're able to do that. And what else can I say? I hope you have a great rest of your April, and I will see you again soon, Libra. Take care.